Y'all, it looks like it's game over for Will and Jada Smith because Jada just announced that they're separated and are heading for divorce any moment from now, but will shock everybody when he came out to announce that he filed for divorce from Jada, and y'all are not going to believe why he finally snapped and dumped her. Was Jada secretly in love with Tupac? This whole time, I really didn't want to get married, but we only got married because y'all is definitely 2023 year of the Hollywood divorce. C and Will and Jada just hopped on that train because they just announced that they are separated and might be getting a divorce any moment from now. Is very wild how they went from being one of the major couples in Hollywood to having their marriage clowned by fans, and the fact that the fans are rejoicing over their breakup tells us how much fans started to hate them together. It's only been a couple of years since they were the image of enduring black love in Hollywood, but that definitely changed. In 2020, when the whole entanglement drama happened and people couldn't stop talking about how messed up their marriage was, the drama ruined their image and people never looked at the marriage the same way now. To refresh y'all's memories, I'm going to take a trip down memory lane and talk about the time that rapper August Elena came out to reveal that he had an affair with Jada, and get this, he said Will had given his blessing to the affair. I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life. Y'all, this whole entanglement essay started up a whole lot of drama, especially for Jada. So according to August, this whole affair went down in 2016, making him 23 at the time while Jada was 44. The age gap alone was a lot, but the age wasn't the only thing that people were talking about. The real kicker here was that August was practically part of the family back then. He was staying at the Smith residence during a rough patch in his life, dealing with some health issues, and on top of that, he was friends with Jad and their son. So JN getting involved with him raised more than a few eyebrows. But then the Smiths decided to bring their family business to the Red Table Talk. Will then spoke on the issue, saying that he never gave August the green light for the affair. They also claimed that the affair happened during a time when they were on a little break, and once they patched things up, she cut it off. And we're going through a very difficult time, yeah? And we decide I was done with your ass, yeah. You kicked me to the I was done with you. Yeah, we marriages have that, though mar have that, yeah. We broke up now. I need for y'all to keep this in mind because we're going to circle back to this in a minute now anyway. She eventually came clean and admitted to having the entanglement with August. And then what did you do, Jay? It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion as people began to realize how messed up things were between them. Well, I think that as time went on, I got into a different kind of entanglement with August. This famous Red Table Talk episode opened a whole can of worms, and Jay ended up taking most of the heat after the entanglement drama. Jada's comments didn't help matters either, because fans believe that she made it sound like she didn't even want to be with Will. I mean, she dropped this bombshell that she never even wanted to marry, while saying that the only reason she got married was that her mom forced her to get married. I really didn't want to get married, but we only got married because Gam was crying. I was under so much pressure, being a young actress, being young, and I was just like pregnant. I was just like I didn't know what to do, but I just knew I was like I never wanted to be married. Then there's also the time that will reveal that he had spent years planning the perfect 40th birthday for her because she had been having something of a midlife crisis, but Jada didn't appreciate the party or his efforts, and she felt like Will was just displaying his ego for the world to see. After her 37th birthday, I hired a team to orchestrate her 40th birthday. I had hired a documentary team. I traced Mommy's family roots. It was going to be the thing that lifted her out of this midlife crisis, and it was going to be my deepest, most beautiful proclamation of love. And she's told me that the party was the most ridiculous display of my ego. There's also the time that she came out and pretty much said that Will doesn't satisfy her in the bedroom. Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. And on top of it, I know that I have to be accountable to do the same. And do you? I really tried now to be fair to her. She did. Admit that she needed to communicate her needs. Better saying only because I got time today. Stop making up headlines. See for yourself the red table talk I had with Gwyneth Paltrow. I never had a problem in the bedroom, thank you, but it still made Will appear bad because fans thought she was trying to emasculate and humiliate him on purpose. Oh, and can we also talk about the fact that she records videos of Will in which she insults him when he is obviously uncomfortable and then posts them online? Would you say that she has played a significant role in you and I redefining our relationship? Oh my goodness, if you could film me, please come help us again. I'm still dealing with foolishness. Don't just start filming me. She could do it. There was a lot of talk about how Jay probably secretly despises Willow, but what really convinced fans was the discovery of an old letter Willow wrote to Tupac. This was the last straw for many fans. Willow reportedly wrote Tupac a letter when she was 11 years old. In it, Willow said, "I know you are alive somewhere, and I think my mommy really misses you. Please come back so mommy and me can be happy. I wish you here." I really do love Willow. Willow's letter was awful, but what made it even worse was Willow's constant talk about how insecure he felt about Jada and how much she cared for Tupac. Jada and Tupac have been very good friends before he passed, and Will has admitted that he felt jealous of their connection. Were you ever jealous of the love Jay had for Tupac? Oh, yeah, but she just loved him like he was the image of perfection. But she was with the Fresh Prince, so it was. Like, I never could, like, even we were in a room together a couple times I couldn't speak to him, Now, this was bad enough, but the worst part was that Tupac had been passed away before Willow. W was even born, and fans speculated that Jada had filled Willow's head with so many stories of Tupac that the girl had started to feel like he would be better for Jada than her own father. Oh, and remember how she hinted that Will was struggling to satisfy her in the bedroom? Well, she pretty much came out to admit that she has an addiction to the nasty time my sort of addictions they jump around when I was young. I definitely think I had a sex addiction of some kind, yes, that everything could get defixed by sex. Yes, you know what I'm saying, or there, it's the behavior that's attached to it, cuz it's you if you want to have a lot of sex. That's great. But why are you having all that? That's what you got to look at you. Know what I mean? Then there was the controversy surrounding the Oscars last year when Chris Rock was slapped for making a joke about Jade's lethal wife. Wow, buddy. Yeah, that was a G.I. Jangel, but take my wife's name out of your lips. I could. I'm going to. That was a now. Jada received backlash for the slap, which was understandable given that she hadn't asked Will to slap Chris or anything similar, but fans thought she was dragging the incident out too long and accused her of trying to take advantage of the situation. Will apologized for the slap, saying, "Violence in all its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable. Inexcusable jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally." He also apologized directly to Chris Rock, saying, "I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of loving kindness." However, Jada was silent about the drama for months, but just when people started to move on from the drama, she finally addressed it on the Red Table Talk, where she pretty much told Will and Chris to get over themselves and hug it out about Oscar night. "My deepest hope is that these two intelligent, capable men have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile the state of the world today. We need them both now." To be fair to Jada, Will has more than his fair share of drama as well, even though he's much better at hiding in shenanigans. For example, after the entanglement drama, he pretty much admitted that he had been with other women apart from Jada, and he even revealed that he wanted a harem of women, including Highberry and Misty Copeland. He said, "I don't know where I saw it, or some stuff as a teenager, but the idea of raveling with 20 women that I loved and took care of, and all of that, it seemed like a really great idea. But I mean, at least they're self-aware enough to realize how messy their marriage was. We ride together. We together, bad marriage for life. That line will forever send me. But at this point, we took them for their word, and we figured that they're bad marriage for life. probably couldn't get any worse from there. But it did in fact get worse because Jada recently sat down for an interview where she had admitted that she and Will have been separated for 6 whole years. Was that in 2016, you and Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives. It was not a divorce on paper, but it was a divorce from the year 616, which is 7 years ago. Now, yes, y'all have been apart. Yeah, okay. So now y'all get your calculators out, as if the math is math. And then that means that she and Will have been separated for 7 years. But during the Entang and Red Table talk, she said that she and Will were separated in 2016 and then got back together. And that's why she ended her affair with August Sala. You and I were going through a very difficult time. Yeah, and we decided I was done with your ass. Yeah, you kicked me to the I was done with you. Yeah, marriages have that though. Marriages have that well. They've pretty much just been playing in our faces all these years, which is just wild to think about. Like, listen, y'all, what on earth is up with these two? But if you're wondering what on earth they took so long to announce it, this is what Jada said. I think just not being ready, yet still trying to figure out between the two of us. Yeah, how to be in partnership, right? And in regards to how do we present that to people you know, and we hadn't figured that out. It's a lot to unpack here, and if you're wondering why they're just making it public now, well, insiders have reported that Will is finally done and over the marriage. He is finally ready to move on from the marriage because he just can't stand the idea